every diet works. At first, the scale drops. Motivation is high. You think this time it's actually working. And somewhere around week 8, everything stops. The scale freezes. Hunger spikes. Energy crashes. And so almost everyone reaches the same conclusion. My metabolism is broken. But it isn't. And once you understand what's actually happening inside your body during that stall, every diet you ever do will be different. Your metabolism isn't broken. It adapted. And if you don't understand that adaptation, every diet will eventually stall. So let's decode exactly what's happening. The first phase of dieting feels powerful because the body is responding fast to a new environment. When calorie intake drops, carbohydrate intake usually drops with it. That depletes glycogen stored in your muscles and liver. And glycogen carries water. So as glycogen falls, water weight drops rapidly. Insulin levels decrease. Inflammation drops. The scale moves quickly. But a large part of that early weight loss is not body fat. It's glycogen and water. Rapid loss is not rapid fat. It's rapid adjustment. And once that adjustment stabilizes, the real physiology begins. When calorie intake decreases, energy expenditure decreases too. Part of this happens because body weight is lower. Smaller bodies burn fewer calories. That part is simple physics. But something else happens at the same time. The body becomes more efficient. This is called adaptive thermogenesis. Your resting metabolic rate drops slightly. Hormones shift, and your body begins conserving energy. Not because it wants you overweight, because it evolved to protect you during scarcity. The larger the calorie deficit, the stronger that adaptation becomes. This is not weakness. This is survival physiology. But the biggest adaptation during dieting usually isn't metabolic rate, it's movement. Specifically something called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. NEAT includes everything outside structured exercise. Walking around the house, standing, fidgeting, posture changes, unplanned movement throughout the day. And for many people, NEAT burns more calories than their workouts. But when calories drop, NEAT drops subconsciously. You sit more, you move less, you take fewer steps, you conserve energy without realizing it. And that reduction in movement can erase hundreds of calories per day. Your calorie deficit shrinks, even if your diet hasn't changed at all. That's not diet failure. That's compensation. Now add hunger to the equation. As body fat decreases, the hormone leptin declines. Leptin signals satiety. At the same time, ghrelin increases. Ghrelin signals hunger. The longer a diet continues, the louder hunger becomes. Food becomes more rewarding. Cravings intensify. Impulse control becomes harder. You're not becoming less disciplined. Your biology is pushing back. And most diets completely ignore this phase. You're not weak. You're adapting. As fatigue increases, movement declines further. Training performance drops. Recovery becomes harder. Now the entire system changes. You're eating less, but you're also moving less. Energy flux collapses. Low intake, low output, high fatigue, fat loss slows, but hunger stays high. This is the danger zone of dieting. And then something predictable happens. When progress stalls, people respond emotionally. They cut calories further. They add more cardio. They increase restriction. But that response almost always makes the problem worse. More restriction increases fatigue. Fatigue reduces movement. Movement reductions shrink the calorie deficit further. So progress slows again, which leads to even more restriction. Eventually, the system snaps. Binge episodes, diet breaks, rapid regain, and the cycle repeats. This isn't lack of discipline. It's a mismanaged adaptation loop. After prolonged dieting, several signals remain shifted. Leptin stays low. Hunger stays elevated. Metabolic rate is slightly suppressed. Food becomes extremely rewarding. When calories increase suddenly, the body stores energy efficiently. Not because metabolism is broken, because it is adaptive. Rapid regain restores hormonal balance, but without structure, it overshoots. And people blame the diet instead of the unmanaged recovery phase. The goal of successful fat loss is not avoiding adaptation. That's impossible. The goal is managing it. Moderate calorie deficits, not aggressive crashes. High protein intake to preserve lean mass. Resistance training to maintain muscle and keep metabolic rate supported. Intentional daily movement to prevent NEAT collapse. And strategic diet breaks when fatigue accumulates. Fat loss should slow over time because as the body becomes smaller, the energy gap naturally narrows. Sustainable fat loss is not linear. It is adaptive. Every diet works at first because shock creates change. But long-term fat loss requires structure, not shock. You don't need more restriction. You need better adaptation management. Your metabolism isn't broken, it's protective. And once you understand that, you stop fighting your body and start working with it. Here's where it gets worse. Because while your body is running this entire adaptation sequence, the supplement industry is selling you a shortcut. Fat burners, metabolism boosters, thermogenic pills, billions of dollars of products built on one promise. That fat loss can be hacked with a capsule. But when you look at the actual research, most supplements barely move the needle on energy expenditure at all. Some do nothing, some are dangerous, and almost none of them address the real drivers we just decoded. In the next episode, we go through the evidence, ingredient by ingredient, so you know exactly what works and what's just expensive packaging. Performance. Decoded.